Okay, we are here to go. All right, let's see what we got here today. All right, hello everyone, Kevin Stevenson here with GetMeTheGeek.com, and today we're going to play with OPNSense again. Haven't played with this in a while. Been busy and all that good stuff, but hey, it's 4th of July. Let's go and have some fun and set up an OpenVPN on OPNSense. All right, so let me get switched over to the desktop here. Boom, here we go. All right. Here is our OPNSense. And this one, just remember, is behind another network. So when you look at the WAN, it's actually an internal IP address. So we're going to go through all the same steps though. So go over here and click on VPN. And let me just go ahead and make this bigger so everybody can see a little easier. Click on OpenVPN and click on servers. Now, there's a setup wizard right over here. You can just add it yourself and do everything, but we're going to go through the setup wizard and see how it takes us. So first question, local user access LDAP radius. So basically what that means is, so your local users are the users on this OPNSense. So if you go to the user setting and create users, that's where you get them. LDAP is if you want to connect like typically it's going to be Active Directory. So if you have Windows, you can connect that. Radius is another option. If you have a Radius server, and your Radius server can sometimes talk to the Active Directory too. So it sort of depends. But in this case, we're not going to do any of that. This is down and simple. We're going to local users, which is the default. Go ahead and click next. And then you need to create the certificate authority for the VPN itself. So OpenVPN uses SSL certs basically. And so this is the certificate authority. And the certificate authority is the authority that creates certs. Okay. In normal case, when you're going to go out and buy a cert for your website, you buy it from a certificate authority and they create it. So here we're going to go. We're going to call this OpenVPN CA. And we're going to leave this all the same. 2048, lifetime 825 is approximately 2 years. So it's a very, very long time before the certificate authority expires. Country code, we're US. We're going to state there's Missouri. Okay. So we're just going to fill out some of these things here. And we're going to do support. So that would just go to my support. Boom. And here's your new CA. Now, here we go. We're going to choose a server cert. Now, in this particular case, so you have the CA and then the server has a cert, which should be created off of the CA. And then you're going to have user certs. So right here, our only cert that we have available is the GUI, the GUI cert. And that's the cert that's used in this browser. So we're going to add a cert. We're going to call it OpenVPN. CRT, OpenVPN server cert, right? 2048, lifetime 1 year. Now, here's something that's changed over the time of me using this OpenVPN servers. Used to, you could set this for 8 years and it'd be no big deal. Now, they recommend that you set it at about 1 year for expiration. And the reason is that computers and everything have kind of gotten smarter and said, oh, this is a really long cert. It shouldn't be that way. It should be expired. And so it makes it suspicious. So everything else should be filled out for you already, right? And then you create the cert. And now, interface. All right. So we're going to choose the WAN interface where it listens for incoming ports, right? UDP. Now, we're going to do 1194, which is the default port for OpenVPN. It's even right here. So you can give it a call. Right? Doesn't matter what you call it. TLS, everything here, automatically generate. So this will get filled out. 2048 FID. Oh, excuse me. Now, here's a question. What algorithms do you use? Well, this is kind of a interesting thing. So you get all of these right here, right? Boom. To pick from. By default, it's going to do 128 CBC. Now, is that the right one? I don't know. That's not what I use. I think that I have problems with that. This is just OpenVPN. Best cipher. Let's see what it says. So you see, obviously, there are stack fault, questions about what should I use? 256 probably is best. CBC 128, which is whatever was in there, right? Again, you're going to look at these. And you're going to see all these certs. Now, that being said, they're all fine in reality. It depends on what you need, what your needs are. TLS client server mode only, 192, 256. If you want to, you could raise this up to 256 CBC. And there, like I said, there's a whole bunch of them in here. We're going to go ahead and just change it from the 128 to 256. And we're going to change this from SHA-1 to SHA-2. All right. Now, here's where we get to the tunnel portion of it, right? So you want to just read this real quick. This is the IPv4 network that communicates between your server and the host, expressed in CIDR. Boom. So what is that going to be? What that really means is that you need a different network than your regular network so that they're not overlapping. Technically speaking, if you had a network on this, which is 192.168.21, if that network was not the whole /24, you could use the other part of it, but don't do that. Make your life easy. You in the case of this, I set up the basic network as 192.168.1.1, or it's 0/24. So what I would do is check to see what other networks I have. So now, that being said, I have set up a couple of the networks on here in previous videos. So let's just go and open a new tab and take a look at that real quick. So you go over to interfaces, pop this open, right? So we got interfaces. We got the LAN interface, right? Which is 21. I got a video interface, which we did for setting up stuff, which is 22. And then, of course, our WAN is, whatever, right? So if you want to keep in this theme, you got 21, 22, and then 192. Typically, I switch it to like the same same number on a 172, excuse me, or a 10. So let's just go 10.0.21.0/24, right? So 21 is what our network is. So this is the 10 dot version of that. Makes it easy to remember. We're going to ignore the IPv6 one. We're going to force all traffic through. That's a full tunnel. So that means that anytime this tunnel's on, all your traffic will go to that tunnel. The other way is if you uncheck that, a split tunnel. So only your traffic coming to this network would go through the tunnel. And so that sort of depends, like if you have an always on VPN and you want to be able to access your resources at home or your office network, that split tunnel is fine. And you don't want like your regular surfing to go through the internet, go through your office network, then the split tunnel. But if you're at, say, Starbucks or some coffee shop, random coffee shop, that you want to protect yourself from other people who might be on that network, a full tunnel is really the way to go, because then everything is going through there and you're kind of putting a tunnel around yourself to protect yourself from that random coffee shop or that you might be working at. So, and now local network. So 192.168. Oops. Forgot I have those keys programmed. 21.0/24. Okay. So this is our local network. These are the IP addresses that will be accessible by the endpoint, addressed as comma-separated lists for more than one side of range. Leave blank if you don't want to add a route. Man, remind for your local copy. So let's do a comma, because we also did, if we looked at our stuff earlier, 22, right? So now that's both of those network. Again, we're ignoring the IPv6. And so this we're going to remote or just ignore, because we don't need to leave that, because this is not a site-to-site VPN. Same thing with this one. Concurrent sessions. Maximum number of clients allowed to connect to this server. You leave that blank, gives you the max compression. Now, here's the thing. Generally speaking, there is some thoughts about compression on OpenVPN that kind of tells you not to do it. And so you can go Google that, but I'm just going to leave that off. We're going to leave all these things normal. Duplicate connections. Allow multiple concurrent connections using the same common name. This is not generally recommended, but maybe used in certain scenarios. So here's what happens here. If you export one single client and you use it for everybody in the company, this is where this comes in. You need to check this box so that everything works right. Otherwise, you'll need to connect. You need to create an export for each individual user. So that's something to keep in mind. We're going to leave that unchecked. So we're going to assume we're going to create one for every person. All right. You're going to leave all this stuff blank. Okay, so the NetBIOS stuff, you can leave blank too. And all it's really going to do is discover stuff on the local network. So, all right. Anyway, let's hit next. Obviously, the things. Oh, what I do here? Error. So didn't like something about what I did down here. Maybe I just need to put a space in between there. Nope. Valid setter. So, not sure. Well, it doesn't like me putting multiple ranges in there for some reason. Now, maybe they, see if it likes the semicolon. Sometimes that's being used. Didn't like the comma, didn't like space, didn't like set. All right, we're going to ignore this problem for now. Boom. All right. Okay, so this is very important. You want to check these boxes because it creates firewall rules for you to let everything work. So if you don't do this, you're going to get connected, and then you realize you can't do anything. All right, so here we go. Boom. Finished. So now it's going to do its thing, update, and boom. So there it is. UDP, boom, 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 right? All right. So then you can go to this client export, you go all the way down here, and you're going to find that there's nothing here. All right. So let's go and create a client cert. As soon as I find out where that is. Can't remember where that is for your certificates. All right. System trust certs. So you go to system trust certificates. All right. So here's where we add a cert. And we're going to create a new internal cert. And this is going to be our CA. And this is going to be a client cert, right? All right. So we're going to call it YouTube user CRT, right? Boom, boom, boom. Everything's the same. 256, shot. Save on this firewall. Boom, 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 boom. Everything's going to be the same. Common name. I'm just going to reuse this. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay. I might be talking low. Am I talking low? Anyone? All right. Cool. So we're just going to put it, boom, and then hit save. Okay. Excellent. All right. So now let's look at that cert real quick. This one right here. Boom. So it's going to expire 1 year from now. So you'll have to remember when you over here, it will be a renew. There should be a renew. All right. So now we go back to this VPN, right? Go back to OpenVPN, go back to client exports, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to see this YouTube person, which you download right here. Okay. So is there anything we need to do here? Well, let's take a look at this. File only, archive. We got some stuff here. Host name, ports, random, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff, we don't really need to do anything except for go down here to this archive and download it. All right, so here we are. I must not have selected something. Oh. Okay. So this needs to be the WAN IP address, right? So I go here to lobby in the dashboard. In the particular case of this, my WAN IP address is going to be this number here. This isn't typically what you're going to have. So let me download this now. And so what you have is this file. So let me just copy this to, I don't know, somewhere. Let's extract this guy right here. Okay, so what do you have? You get 3 files in this zip. And what are they? Well, let's just open up one of those and take a look. So this one right here, we're going to open it in code. And I will show you what's in here. All right. So first of all, what we have is basically the configuration for OpenVPN. The cipher. What's this, SHA-1? I thought we changed it to SHA-2. Okay, doesn't matter. So, and then here's the remote IP address. So this is this is going to be your public IP address. Now, if you don't have a static IP address, then you're going to want to change that to a DNS entry and set up like a DNS service on your machine in order for this to effectively stay working for you. So we have this here, and then here is our other 2 files that were in there, and those are the keys, the certain keys, the public key stuff. So we can take a look at that stuff too here. So if you open this key one, it's going to be a bunch of stuff now, right? And then this is this one. I don't know if I can open this way. Yeah. So you take those 3 files and you import them in your OpenVPN client. So you're like, well, okay, well, we didn't do an OpenVPN client, right? Well, no, we sure didn't, did we? All right. So what do? Easy enough. You type in OpenVPN client download, right? And so you go to openvpn.net and you go ahead and get this guy, right? So here it is. For Windows. Now, if you don't have Windows, there are other ones, other clients. Mac has a client. If you have an Android phone, there's an OpenVPN client you can install from the App Store. Same thing is true for on the Apple side. So you download this guy right here, right? And you install it. All right. I already have it installed. And I don't know if I'm going to have to switch my main screens in order for this to work. Can I open this? Well, let me do that. Let me switch what my main screen is so that you can see it. Display settings. Right. And so we want to set this one as my main display. Make this my main display. Boom. Play that. All right. So the difference is what you get down here in the tray icon, right? So this is Let's see. I think let me turn off my. We do full desktop. Okay, so you can't see me now, but you can see this corner over here, right? So down here in the corner, you have a network icon. Looks like a computer, has a lock on it. You right click on that guy. Oops, I probably shouldn't do that, but you can import. So you import files, right? And so then you go over to where you were at with the download, and then you take that and you import it, right? So now when you right click on there, there's going to be a connect. Now, this isn't going to work because I am on the same network and I have things messed up. So, but let me switch back over to this. All right. So that's kind of all there is to it. You right click on that, import it, and then you go ahead and connect, right? So connecting is simple. It turns that icon down in the bottom into a green icon, and you're up and running. Everything should be good. Okay, so that is everything that there is to setting that up. If you have questions or comments, please go ahead and drop those in. When you're if you're setting this up and you have troubles, go ahead and drop some questions in there. I'm happy to help them. If you sign into the actual channel membership, there's a Discord channels which you could talk to me in there too. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, there's a buy me a cup of coffee link in the description here on this video. Or you want to do one of those super thank yous, you can do that too, or whatever that. So I appreciate everything that you do. It helps me make these videos. I'll see you next time. I'm Kevin Stevenson with GetMeTheGeek.com. Don't forget, if you want to hire us for a project, we're available for that. If you're looking to set up a TrueNAS or maybe a Proxmox, or you need some sort of networking issues straightened out, we can help you with that. See you next time.